Welcome to episode 61 of Book Nerd Paradise, where we get to know an author as they tell us one of their favorite quotes, read from their work, pose a trivia question, and give away a book or two. Hi, I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series. And as I've mentioned in the last couple episodes, but I want to reiterate, I'm going to be sending out an email this week with a very important announcement to my email subscribers, okay? So if you have not yet subscribed to my email list, I recommend going over to lrwlee.com and doing so. It's up at the top of the page. It's really easy to find. But and with that, you'll also get a couple free ebooks. So if you haven't, by all means, avail yourself of that so you don't miss out on what my latest announcement will be. Okay? All right. All right. So this week we have the pleasure of getting to know YA fantasy author Jennifer Ellision. Jennifer spent a great deal of her childhood staying up past her bedtime with a book and a flashlight, she says. Has a soft spot for fan fiction and is a master of the fangirl flail. I want to know if she's going to show us that this episode. That's what I want to know. All right, so she resides in South Florida with her family, where she lives in fear of temperatures below 60 degrees. Oh my goodness. I have to say, living in Austin, Texas, I'm with you. I am so with you. Anyway, all right, so if you would, please join me in welcoming Jennifer Ellision.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Jennifer, you're going to be reading from your YA fantasy novel, Threats of Sky and Sea, which is book 1 in the Threats of Sky and Sea series. So that we can get a feel for the book, would you give us a brief synopsis?
16-year-old Brina Purdett has spent her life as a barmaid, innocent to her father's past and happily free from the elemental gifts that would condemn her to a life in the Egrian King's army, until the day that 3 elemental soldiers recognize her father as a traitor to the throne and Bree's father is thrown in jail, along with the secrets from his last mission as the king's assassin. Secrets that could help the king win a war. Secrets he refuses to share. That's just the quick blurb.
Aha, that's awesome. And actually, that is why I invited Jennifer on the program, because I read that blurb when I was looking for my next great read. And I'm like, wow, that sounds really cool. Plus, the book cover was enticing as well. So I think we're in for a treat today. You have a favorite quote picked out. What is it and why is it a favorite?
I do have a favorite quote picked out. It is from Chime by Franny Billingsley. And the quote is, "If you say a word, it leaps out and becomes the truth. I love you. I believe it. I believe I am lovable. How can something as fragile as a word build a whole world?" And it appealed to me on both a level as a writer and a reader, because so many worlds that we engage with are built by words. They have a lot of power, so it was very profound to me.
Yes, absolutely. No, our entire world as we view it, it's all language, right? I mean, yeah. I've heard a professor say, fish swim, humans language, right? It's all we have. That is our whole reality. And yeah, so I get the power behind that quote. That's great. You're also going to be giving away a book. If you would tell us what you're giving away.
Sure, I'm giving away Threats of Sky and Sea, which is book 1 in my series, and Riot of Storm and Smoke, which is book 2, and I'm giving those away as ebooks, and it will be opened internationally.
Excellent. And if you notice the covers, you're going to see more of the cover in a minute, but yeah, they're beautiful covers. So good stuff. And she's very generous. She's giving both book 1 and 2 away. That's awesome. Yay! All right, so to enter to win, all you need to do is leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you would, please make sure that you leave a Twitter handle, a Facebook address, or an email address, so that if you're the lucky winner, we can make sure that we can get hold of you. All right? Jennifer, you're going to be reading from Threats of Sky and Sea, which is book 1 in your series. Yes. Would you briefly set up the portion you'll be reading from and then share with us?
As we saw in the synopsis, Bree's father is revealed to her not to be exactly the person that she thought he was while she was growing up. So this kind of takes place as that revelation is occurring for her before they get back to where the rest of the book goes down. You always could play a part well, Caterin says. The words smack into me, an echo of what I'd thought only hours earlier. She really does know Da. He really is the Duke. As they push me toward the door, it drives the point home, a nail boring into my chest. We're marched outside like common criminals. The air is frosty. The stars blink out at me from their stations in a sky painted black with night. My breath huffs out in small clouds. At Bonnet's prod, I stumble. Gravel rips into my knees and I hiss against the pain. It's freezing, I say, struggling to get to my feet without the use of my hands. I'll take that coat now. Da's heavy overcoat sails through the air and crashes into me. Unable to don it, I clutch it close. The fur warms my hands, but does nothing for the ice freezing through my heart. Come, Artie, Caterin says. It's time to go home. We have a home, I spit. The bridge and Duchess is cloaked in shadows. I can still see the flickering flame of the hearth through the window. Caterin turns, regarding the building as though she's forgotten it. That does present a problem, she agrees. One can hardly have two homes. What does that mean? Foreboding strums through me. I feel it etch itself across my features, and she can tell. Satisfaction spreads Caterin's lips in a malevolent grin. Burn it, she says. What? No! Burn the bridge and Duchess? It's unthinkable. I catapult myself forward, running toward the open door of the tavern, but a strange arm hauls me back. 16 years. I scrabble against Bonnet's hold. 16 years I've lived there. My entire life. Da's stoic, a statue standing in my father's place. Why isn't he fighting back? He can't be willing to just let them destroy our home. Treagle kneels beside the doorway. Is he hesitating? I stop struggling for a moment, trying to see. I can't tell, can't see his eyes. Maybe he's not the coward I thought. If he's going to fight them on something, Maker's bless, please, please let it be this. You don't have to do this. He turns, but I still can't read anything in his eyes. My heart riots, torn between hope and despair. For a moment, I let myself believe that he'll refuse to act. Caterin taps a foot. We are short on time, Adept. Just like that, the moment is broken. I feel it snap like a thread has been cut. A flame soars from Treagle's hand to the dry roof, and I scream my rage, whipping my fists over Bonnet's large arm as it catches light. If it had snowed, maybe it would have spread slower, but the roof is nothing but tinder consumed by flame. I twist, strain, try to claw my way free as Bonnet's low chuckle taunts my ears. My feet fly at his legs as the fire licks toward the sky. Treagle steps back, observing his handiwork silently, and my struggles slow. This isn't a fight I can win. The fire is hungry. It's gobbling down the bridge and Duchess as though it is starving. Tears prick at my eyes, and I pretend it's the smoke. I have to look away. In the morning, the inn will be gone, only ashes upon the ground there to testify that it ever stood, and the stars will be the only witnesses left.
Our guest author last week, YA fantasy author BJ Sheldon, posed a trivia question.
The question was, how many times was Katniss entered into the reaping for the 74th annual Hunger Games? And the answer is, pausing for dramatic effect, 20.
Jennifer, you have a trivia question for us. What is it?
Well, I identify as a Hufflepuff from the Harry Potter series, so I want to know, what is the Hufflepuff-related Horcrux that Voldemort creates?
That is an awesome question. Yes, I'm sure there's several people who know, but especially if you don't, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel by just clicking that little red button over there, so that next week you can hear the answer to this question.
For the writers out there, I want to tell you guys to write what you enjoy. I mean, I grew up writing fan fiction, and I think that really built me as a writer because it was what I really was interested in. And for the readers, thank you. For everyone else, I am everywhere on the internet. You can find me on my website. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. Look me up.
That's awesome. Thank you for those words, Jennifer. That's great. Cool. All right, so another author to check out. How about that? Because she's got more books out there. So make sure that, especially if you enjoy what she read today, make sure that you check her out. All right. Well, I guess this brings to an end this episode. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know Jennifer Ellision just a little bit. I'm LRW Lee, author of the Andy Smithson Epic Fantasy Adventure Series, and I want to just remind, especially those of you who are newer here, make sure that you download the ebooks that are free of both The Blast of the Dragon's Fury, which is book 1 in the Andy Smithson series, as well as Power of the Air's Passion, which is the prequel to the series. They're both available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Google Play. So be sure to get your copy.
Click the button to subscribe to the Book Nerd Paradise YouTube channel so you don't miss upcoming authors, giveaways, and answers to trivia questions.
I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next Monday.